One of my favorite genres of gaming is the good old classic puzzle game. Simple in design, easy to learn the mechanics of, and it's really easy to lose track of time when you're playing these games. Puzzle games have always been that genre that's just fun to pick up and play. I cannot tell you how many hours I've spent just stacking blocks on top of each other just to make them disappear. No matter what situation I'm in, if I find a puzzle game, I'm gonna try it out. Although there is one giant flaw with puzzle games, and that's that they tend to be all kind of similar to each other. Sure, some games try and mix it up by having your solutions create situations, like getting rid of a large number of blocks in Super Puzzle Fighter will result your character in performing a better combo, and the better your skills are in the board game mode of Magical Drop 3 result in how many spaces your character gets to move. But all of them revolve around one idea. You get rid of your blocks to get a higher score. And that's where today's game, SD Gundam Power Formation Puzzle, comes into play. As the title suggests, this is a puzzle game that uses the characters from multiple Gundam series, including the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Wing, and G Gundam. And before you ask, no, there is no difference between who you pick to play as, they're just different character skins. Like Super Puzzle Fighter, the idea of the game is to use the blocks to create combos to attack your opponent until they're defeated. First one to knock out your foe's health is the winner. Sounds simple, right? Well, you couldn't be more wrong. SD Gundam Power Formation Puzzle is by far one of the most annoying puzzle games in the history of ever. Why? Well, let's just say you're going into the game blind, and you have no idea on how this game works. The first thing you'll notice that instead of dropping multiple blocks with multiple colors, the game gives you a single block of either red, blue, green, or yellow. You'll think, well, okay, the goal of the game is to build a row of the same colored blocks. Once you do that, you'll notice that the blocks will disappear, and yippee, I got some points. Oh wait, my health bar just went down. Then you'll notice that the enemy had just had a row of 3 blocks disappear from their screen, resulting in a Zaku coming over to your side of the screen and blowing up your blocks and health bar. So the next thought is, well, maybe I need to stack the blocks in a certain way or order. Let's try and have all 4 colored blocks stacked against each other. Nope, that does damage too. Oh great, now I'm being attacked by the Psycho Gundam. Awesome. Repeat this pattern of confusion for 20 minutes and you'll be dead. That's pretty much your experience going into the game blind, and it's annoying as hell given there aren't any tutorials within the game itself. So, after many hours of trial and error, this is what I've been able to gather from what's going on in the game. Your objective is to stack as many blocks as you can in your playing field to build attacking units. This is of course easier said than done. The trick is, if you have 4 blocks touching each other, no matter what shape they're in, given it a straight line or a zigzag, they'll blow up and cause you to take damage. You'll also take damage if you stack 4 different colored blocks next to each other, going in any direction. So if you have a green, red, blue, and red block touching each other, going in any possible direction or shape, you'll take damage. This becomes a giant bitch and a half, but more on this later. So keeping all this in mind, your goal is to build as big as a tower as you can without causing the blocks to break and hurt yourself. If you manage to build a row or 2, you can use them to create a mobile suit. The more rows you get to build, the more powerful your mobile suit will become. Like if you're using the original series characters, 1 row will result in creating a basic Gundam, while 4 bars will create a Zeta Gundam. The more powerful the unit you create, the more damage it does. But at the same time, you need to build these units to create your defense. When one player attacks another player using the mobile suits, the units they have in their reserve enter into combat. The number of times a unit can attack also depends on how strong they are. Like if you have a level 2 unit, they can go after a level 1 unit and cause the player damage, but they won't deal as much damage if the opponent didn't have their defenses up in the first place. If 2 units of equal power go up against each other, both units are destroyed and no one takes damage, unless the other player has more mobile suits in their reserve. In that case, the remaining units go up into battle and the cycle repeats itself until one side has no more mobile suits. God, that's a lot. God. Okay, now that I've composed myself, on top of dealing damage to your health, The units will also attack the blocks in your playing field, making it difficult to build better units. This is done by those blocks with a P in their center. When you build 4 of those P blocks in a row, you can do a seemingly random attack on the other person. Sometimes it's getting rid of all of their blocks, sometimes it's a massive amount of damage, or on the rare occasion it will heal you. These blocks make or break your game. While the healing one does close to nothing, the other 2 majorly screw you over. You either lose close to 20% of your health, or you'll lose whatever build that you are working on, big or small, leaving you wide open for an attack. The biggest flaw of this game is just how many situations come up where something can go drastically wrong and screw you out of the match. All it takes is one attack and your battle plan goes out the window, so much so that you can't recover from it. The gameplay revolves around you making the biggest and baddest mobile suit that your team is able to create, but the larger the build, the more risk you take from being attacked from a low-ranking mobile suit, screwing you out of your blocking order. Even if you go on the opposite direction and play on the defensive and build as many low-ranking suits as you can to build a wall of defense, all it takes is for the computer to build one high-level mobile suit to wipe out your defense and cause you damage. Also, it takes forever to build a good defense, all of which can be taken out within the blink of an eye. Once these defense units are gone, you're left wide open for a good 2 to 3 minutes before you can even think of making another level 1 or level 2 unit. The game feels like it gives you one chance to prove yourself. If your strategy failed, you're screwed. If your attack was successful, but it wasn't as strong as an attack you would have liked, you're still screwed because chances are the computer was just playing the puzzle game equivalency of dope on a rope. You know, the computer letting you take as many swings as you can before you wear yourself out, so it's easier to take you down. And these battles will last forever. My average time in a match is about 10 to 15 minutes. These rounds go by so slowly, you'll easily lose track of what you were saving by simply getting bored by the slow pace of the game. When in this bored state, you'll make some really stupid mistakes, like stacking the 4 different colored blocks next to each other, and when they disappear, it creates a domino effect. And I've had screw-ups where it went from having 8 rows to only 2, because I lost track of where my yellows were going. But the biggest flaw of this slow pace actually affects the multiplayer. Everything drops so slowly, and it takes so long to build a decent unit that'll do actual damage, you'll find you and your buddy falling asleep during the match. Which is a shame, because playing against the computer, no matter what difficulty it's set on, is pointless. This is one of the few games where I swear to God the computer is cheating. No matter what my strategy is going into battle, the computer always finds a way around it. It's like it knows what I'm thinking, and knows exactly how to counter my attack. Not only is this frustrating as hell, but it's seriously creepy. On the positive side, if there is one, if you're looking for a puzzle game that's original and insanely challenging, give this one a try. But it can be really difficult to understand the mechanics of the gameplay. So unless you feel like testing yourself, I'd stick with Magical Drop 3. This is Itch, signing out.